Call Elohim Yahweh, Bahasham, Mashiach Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakudash, Barakatham. Shalom. This is your fellow servant Tazawar from the GMS Orlando camp, here with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom rule well and from whom we learn his truth. Shalom to Akim, who are not in GMS, but are pushing likewise doctrine, in spirit and in truth, with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds, who are scattered amongst the nations, looking like those nations. To the 144,000 elect men, and the rest of the hopeful elect. To you I say, Shalom. Hey, I wanted to do this lesson yesterday, Salakia, but time didn't permit. Not sure what I will title this one yet, but in short, this is in regards to current events that have been taking place in Babylon the Great, aka also known as America. All right. So here in the good old U.S. of A., it was election season, and the presidency was declared. They did vote. They did their little voting and all that. They put on the show, right? They had the people staying up, watching the polling and all of that. Had the popular vote, and then your electoral college, right? And obviously, unless you are totally detached from what's going on in the world, then you know that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were the two candidates. Well, they had all these campaigns and commercials, right? All of these damn text messages and phone calls coming in from these people, right? I know I received a whole slew of messages that I ended up just blocking the shit out of all of the messages, right? Anywho, they did a great deal of casting enchantments, so you can understand, because that's exactly what happened. They cast these enchantments to get the populace involved, all right, because what they're really after is your energy, and people put a lot of energy, a lot of their spirit into into this time of year. Anyway, you had your lefties, or your liberals, also known as your Democrats, representing Kamala, and they had all type of stuff going on during the actual campaigning. And then your right wings, or your Republicans, right, or conservatives, represented Trump. So your boy Donald, right, Donnie J, All right. 45, that's what I call him, 45, who's now also become the 47th president. That's right. Trump won the election, right? And I listened to part of his little speech uh, this morning when I was at the plantation. And he's talking about all the great things that's coming along with America. They're going to seal up the borders and, reverse all the fuckery and foolishness that occurred under the Biden administration and heal the economy and all of this, right? All of this good stuff, the same talking points that he was talking about during his campaigning, he, mentioned in his post-election speech. And we got verses for that, man. We got scripture, right? And it's wild because, as you know, or you should know, we don't condone uh giving your energy and your spirit to this type of sorcery and witchcraft, right? This type of these enchantments, this type of foolishness. And I actually did a lesson a while back, right? I can't recall the name of it, but it's in my video library. And basically, I go into how we're not supposed to vote for a stranger, right? A non-Israelite to be over our people. And both of those candidates were non-Israelite folk. All right. Not to mention, again, when you really understand that the commander in chief, aka El Presidente, is selected, not elected, not elected, but selected seemingly by the electoral college, but it's really by the powers that be that's pulling the strings behind the scenes, right? Pulling the strings behind the scenes. That's what's going on, man. And all of the Evites at my job, right, at my place of employment, the plantation that I currently work at, was all walking around with their lips stuck out, all quiet, ain't had shit to say all day. Right. And that it shows you how vested people get in this, these shenanigans, man. This play, because that's what it is. It's an act, right? Two sides of the same coin. Because best believe those jokers, all the benefits that they put on bills that they take away from us, quote unquote, commoners, right? Us regular folk, best believe all the motherfuckers in the Senate, the House, uh, president, vice president, all the way down the ranks. If they brushing elbows with them people, listen, they have benefits that the average people don't. All right. The laws don't apply to them. They can go, you know, they can go clip a child in the womb, even if it's illegal in a particular state. They can go do whatever they want because they got pull, as they say. They have pull. They have networking and relationships in high places, man. All right. Anyway, before I get to rambling, let me go ahead and grab something here. Because the point I wanted to make is people giving all of their energy to these damn devils, man. And just because this tangerine ass motherfucker with bad hair, because don't get it twisted, you know, we don't endorse now one of them. It either one. All right. We here at GMS, we don't endorse either one. And as I previously stated, both of them are heathen. So they can kick rocks and break a toe for all we care. Now, First Thessalonians, what I done fat finger? We want First Thess 5, right? And I'm gonna just start at 1. And it reads, But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. All right. But obviously this is Paul, right? For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right? And we're closer now than we ever were before. Each day that passes, we are one day closer to the day of the Lord coming upon the earth, man. And lo, it will come. Right? But those of you, you should know that we are living in, if you've been listening to the videos and, you know, if you've been going out, if you are part of the company, you know, company of prophets, then hey, y'all been hitting the highways and byways. You've been showing up to camp, you just on the other side. Y'all know what time it is. If you've been listening to the apostles at all, right, you know what times we're in. Because we've been in the end days for a while, but as I said, we are closer than ever because now, you know, we have accurate breakdown and interpretation of the prophecies, right? And our elders and apostles been doing this for 40 plus years. I know when I was coming up as a jitterbug, man, as a you know, a little Jake, still had pet milk behind my ears and shit. Hey, when my parents was dragging my little ass all through them whorehouses, them harlot houses, called churches, right? Those temples, you know, Baptist, Methodist, hit a Catholic, you know, just all over the damn place. Right? You never found anybody that understood prophecy like our elders. Right? And can give you a play-by-play, man. Thus saith, go into the scripts, go into the word and break it down. That's how we know. And also we are watching the people stand up. We are watching that exceeding great army stand up on his feet. Right? That's mentioned in the scriptures, man. That we would begin to get our identity back. And now we've seen the men, as pursuant to the book of Ezekiel, right, who were once dry bones. Now they have sinew and flesh and skin, right? And then we know who has the breath, right? The 100% truth. And that's right here at GMS, man. From the apostles and elders on down. And that's evident in the doctrine. The warning, okay? because the elders have been piping the sound, the correct sound. Salakia, the elders and apostles have been piping the correct sound to warn the people. And we live in it. Right? Verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh, Salakia, that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Hey, and Elder Malcolm, the beloved Elder Malcolm, used to bring this verse out. I remember there was a period of time he was bringing this verse out like every other day in his videos. Right? Well, now guess what? This is true. Because who's saying peace and safety now? Right? Your Trumpers. They was worried about these militias going to the street, having blood in the streets, blood running in the streets, man. If this man didn't win. Okay? But they can't, listen, if you go through prophecy, they can't just totally tear down America yet. If you put the pieces together, it's gradualism. Right? They have to get this CBDC in order and do away with other forms of payment so they can usher in this what they call it, a technocracy, right? Technological rule, and then they could implement the charagma. Okay? But we see what? We see that the wars and rumors of wars have already started. Ukraine, Gaza, right? When them boys flew in parachutes and touched down over there in Israel, man, in the Holy Land, and let them yappers ring. I mean, rat tat tat. They had all type of footage on that. All type of footage. And those people were partying. Right? Don't the scriptures say in the days of Noah, right? There should be eating and drinking and giving in marriage and all of that. Yeah. That happened. Right? Salakia. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Why are we not in darkness? Because we are, to the best of our ability, with whatever measure that the Lord has given us, trying to remain diligent and sober, right? And as of this day, we are, and Lord willing, we abide in this soberness, right? Watching the times. Okay? Now, you know what? Under Trump came this guy, what's his name? The Tesla guy, Elon, right? Yeah, Musk, Elon Musk. This guy pushing heavy on the technology. So yeah, this devil might give you a little tax break. Might, the gas prices might drop. I ain't gonna hold you. My pockets was looking nicer when 45 was in office. Right? But so the fuck what? Again, because hey, this ain't our rulership, man. We still second class here. Third, fourth class, really. All the other heathens, aside from the pink one, right? The red one, all those other heathens are in front of us at the line, man. We at the bottom of the totem pole here. Us Israelites. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you at the bottom of the totem pole here in Babylon the Great. Right? But guess what? Elon is attached to this guy, man. They got business deals and all that kind of stuff finna go down. And let's not forget, Elon was out in the forefront pushing Neuralink, right? What it say in the book of Revelation, man? What? That charagma, right? In the right hand or in the forehead. Elon was the one pushing the whole technological shit of the one that's going to go in the forehead with the Neuralink. Salakia. So don't get it twisted. Donald J is not, we know he's no savior. And we don't look at him as thus. Okay? Because what you have to understand is he is a figurehead. He's a figurehead. He might be a little less controllable than some of the other ones, but I have a eerie feeling that they just allowed him a little more rope on his first term, right? Just for the audience sake, all right? And you people out there, you the audience, in case you ain't picked that up yet. All right? So this guy got a handler too, man. Okay? And like I said, watching everything, this guy, Elon, with the Neuralink, with the Tesla cars, the self-driving cars, he's real big on that whole technological push, to push everything into technocracy, man. Ushering in the digital age, thereby getting rid of, it stands to reason that in the digital age, cash will be obsolete. Right? And it's going to go from credit and debit cards to hand swipes. First your palm, then it's going to be something under the skin. That Frito-Lay, right? That chip no dip. The charagma. All right? So, hey, don't eat the potato skins. Don't eat the potato skins. Kind of rambling a little bit. So, Lakia, from there, let's hit this one. Oh, and don't forget, Elon, he pushing out. I seen something where one of the brothers dropped in a chat. This guy has some robot, like Apple got, like some iRobot type shit going. This guy Musk, Elon, they got a version of some iRobot, robotic assistant, whatever they call it. It is literally an android, or on the verge of becoming an android, right? It's a robot whose brain or network will be tapped into the AI that's already finna go crazy on that, where this guy was talking about, it can, companionship, personal assistant, babysitter, all this other stuff, man. Wash your clothes, it can cook for you, can do, what the hell? We living this shit out in real life, man. And that movie I, Robot came out in the early 2000s with Will Smith. Isaiah 30:1, right? Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, right? That they may add sin to sin. And these people are rebellious children, man. And everybody is seeming to take counsel of themselves and the powers that be, and not of the Lord. Right? There was a study that came out. I just heard this the other day. There was a huge decrease, like a 30 or 40% decrease in the population of people that considered themselves religious or God-fearing since 2020, since the vid, right? Elder Yasha Wamba was going into that. And I wonder why, because most of them did what? They got that juice, man, that sticky icky, the Jabberwocky. Right? That wax with a V. And the elder apostle Tahar on his Odyssey page way back, and it might have been, I believe Elder Yasha Wamba did something on it too, about the what was in that juice, right? About the not just the nanoparticles, but this what was it called? It was almost like a, damn it, I can't think of the name. Anyway, they had found a way to basically go in and alter your DNA to try to block out your connection to the Most High, to the spiritual realm. And these guys were talking about, oh, we can do this. At first, they was talking about utilizing it on the so-called Muslims, right? On the Muslim population, so they could be less for lack of a better word, fanatic, right? Less zealous, because they figured out would decrease the occurrence of, the self-inflicted kabooms. People strap stuff to them and they walk into a place and they scream, Akbar, Akbar, or whatever. Boom. Right? Hydras. That's what they call them. These little shits in the shot they called hydras or something like that. Anyway, a lot of people forgot about that, man. Okay? And I've noticed some of that in my family. Okay? My close relatives. So you can understand. Isaiah 30:2. I'm going to read one again. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that take cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Right? Well, we know that the scriptures refer to this place as spiritually, they refer to Babylon the Great as spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And we know that what? This place is Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great. Okay? So we know that this place is Sodom and Egypt. Egypt because hardcore chattel slavery was served out here. Unlike any other slavery ever in the history of slavery. Right? Unlike any other slavery in the history of slavery. And not just for the so-called Negroes. Because the Northern Kingdom, you so-called Latinos, Hispanics, and you so-called Native Americans, you went into slavery too, man. You actually went into slavery first. All right? They shipped a bunch of us off to Europe and various places in the Caribbean. Okay? The ones that they didn't wipe out. That they didn't that the ones of us that didn't fall by the sword. All right? You Tainos, you Boricuas. Yeah, Taino. All right? And you same thing, man. You Mayan, Aztec, so-called, and you so-called Native Americans, you indigenous tribes of the mainland. Sioux, Lakota, Cherokee, Blackfoot, Seminole, right? All of those so-called tribes. You're Reuben and Gad is what you are. Anyway, so this place was hardcore bondage for our people, man. Just as we were in Egypt. Verse 3, it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. And this is why people are languishing. All right, this is why people are becoming depressed. And they don't know which way is up or down. They don't know what to do with their life. Why? Because you're not tapping into the spirit. And if you are tapping into the spirit, you're tapping into the wrong spirit, some left hand shit, talking about worshiping the ancestors and going back to totem creatures, totem spirits, right? Or hoodoo, voodoo, Islam, Christianity, all the wrong stuff, man. All those are spirits of anti-Mashiach. All right, and you're not reverencing the true powers, okay, of the universe. The source and creator of all things, the source, Yahweh, all right, the Father, God the Father, and his Son, all right, who's given all authority. All right, Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, whom you ignorantly call Jesus. Anything outside of that, is going off. And how you say the name matters. Okay? You just can't say whatever name you want. You got to worship in spirit and in truth. All right? Listen, the last part of that verse, it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Your confusion. What's another word? What does Babel mean? confusion. So we know Babylon the Great, which is also spiritually called Egypt and Sodom. All right, trusting in this place, you're going to get confused, and it's only fitting. That's why the scriptures call this place Babylon the Great. Because all the philosophies here, all the wine here is tainted, man. It's going to confuse you if you don't have the spiritual eye solve to see through the haze. Okay? But this is what we see with the presidency. This whole election thing. These are trusting that Donnie J, hey, this guy, the vice president, whatever his name was, Vance or whatever, Pence, whatever the hell his name was, talking about, oh, this was the greatest comeback, political comeback story in political history, and it's gonna be the greatest, presidency comeback, and America gonna have the greatest economic and political comeback in the history of the country. Yada yada. Just listen. Don't get caught sleeping. Right now, if you can benefit for some trinkets, it's not wicked to take advantage of those things, because ultimately it's from the Lord. All right. At the end of the day, all this come from the Lord. It's all the will of the Father. But you have to know what the end is going to be. And you can't be trusting in these damn devils, because they're slated for annihilation. Right? Psalm 73 and 6. And these devils are extremely proud, man. Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Not yet. Not yet. But plagues will hit this place. And really, plagues and pestilence have already begun to hit this place. That's what all of the damn Jabberwockies and all this stuff about bird flu, swine flu, whatever other disease they got coming out of the vault that's floating around. Right? Plus all the man-made famines and food shortages. All of the tainting of the food processing plants with human, human DNA. Okay. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. And we see that right now in the IDF, man. Don't forget. The IDF, listen, them jokers over there, them small heads, they are the first of the nations. They are at the head. Those are the top Edomites. When it comes to hierarchy. And they over there bombing the shit out them Ishmaelites, man. Violence covered them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish, but they are still unsatisfied. Why? Because they insatiable bastards, man. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Again, look at the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, or whatever it stands for. Look at how they talking, man. Your boy Benjamin, not a Jew. Right? They set their mouth against the heavens. Noah Yuval Harari. And their tongue walketh through the earth. Carl Schwab. Talking about some they finna be gods. And that other guy, I can't remember his name. It's a video floating around out there talking about some he gonna become a god and we can't stop him. If somebody try to off him, he gonna unalive them first, and that's that and the third. Like they go to violence again, but they be saying some really proud, wicked shit. Therefore, his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them, which we see right now. Again, because it's multiple moving facets of this thing, man. It's amazing to watch. Because we are in exciting times, man. And they say, how doth God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Right? And on the other hand, they think that they know better than the Most High. They want to put their little touch on everything that's natural, to where nothing is natural now. Right? Nature is fighting against itself, according to these devils. And that's quite fucking strange, because nature been doing fine for, if you let them tell it, billions of years, thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years. But we know nature has been doing this thing for thousands of years just fine, without GMO food, chemtrails, shit in the water. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Right? Even with them shutdowns, them damn $100 million, half a billionaires became, how can I say? Hundreds of millions of dollars became billionaires. Billionaires became trillionaires. Right? Let's jump down to 18. But what? The Lord did what? Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. Why? Because that's their latter end. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, they are utterly consumed with terrors. Right? And it's starting first. It's going to be the terrors of sedition, of war, natural disasters all over the place. Right? These things are coming upon, they're going to come on much stronger. To where people are going to start perishing in mass. They are already talking about all of these people that perished in the Carolinas, and FEMA and all the government officials down there are lying about the numbers. Right? We know over there in the Ukraine, it's a lot of destruction over there. It's a lot of destruction going on in the so-called Middle East. A lot of destruction going on in Israel right now. They used to bombs going off. Ain't that a bitch? It's a Tuesday. These motherfuckers are having full-fledged interviews, and city block away, somebody that they knew that got blown to smithereens. blown to pink mist, and verse 20, as a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. Right? And he will. He's been hated their image. Right? And what they represent. But it says the Lord was when he awakes. So the Lord was asleep. Sleeping how? Meaning he was letting all of the sins that they were doing, just like he turned his face from us for a time, right? So we was getting our asses whooped as our form of punishment. When he looked away, he was looking away while these devils was in full-fledged wickedness. But then when he started looking again, he like, oh shit, these niggas done went overboard. I done came back and they done took the car, burnt all the gas out, brought the shit back with flat tires, crashed it, knocked the neighbor's mailbox over. Dented up the doors and crashed the hood. They did too much. They did too much. So now that the Lord has allowed their sins to build up, and he's going to allow more. That way, the scriptures tell us, that way he'll be justified. Right? And doing away with them. I done bumped my gun for this long. So lock you. Right? Hey. Let me see. I was finna pull Jeremiah 51. Yeah. Jeremiah 51 and 1. The point is in 9. But we'll read 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Right? Shall be against her round about. And who's going to be against Babylon the Great? And who's going to compass her roundabout? Let me read this. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men. Right? Destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Right? So again, who is going to, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow? Well, let's grab Revelation chapter 17. The point I want to get is in 15. I just want to point this out real quick. In verse 5, it says, "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth." And we know for a fact that that is Lady Liberty, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, a.k.a. U.S. of A., a.k.a. America. All right. So when you go up and you read, this is a parabolic description, all right, of a beast, all right, and a harlot. This has been broken down. This chapter has been broken down often by the apostles, the head apostles, and the elders, and the bishops, and other members of GMS. So I'm gonna just get straight to the point. So y'all can go look that up on your own to get some understanding. But it says, "And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." Right? "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Right? "For God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled." Right? Where I was at. "And will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in verse 2, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine. And spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host." Right? That's pretty plain. When you get that in the NLT, verse 3, it says, "Don't let the archers put on their armor or draw their bows. Don't spare even her best soldiers. Let her army be completely destroyed." Now we know that initially the fight will be down in where? The valley of Jehoshaphat. But we also know, pursuant to prophecy, right, that the Persians and the Medes of this day, right, Gog and Magog, right, shall fly on the wings of the Philistines and do what? Destroy the whore. All right. Anyway, I kind of was all over the place a little bit today, but the point is right. Let me see. Did I even? Oh snap! I'm in the wrong. Here we go. Yeah, that's the point. I was going to read 18. "And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth." And we know what? That America reigneth over all her little brethren that make up the EU and NATO. Because America do whatever the fuck she want to. Right? So anyway, like I say, I bounced around quite a bit in this lesson. But the point is what? Don't fall for the okie doke. Donnie J has not changed the course of prophecy, all right, in the course of the will of the Heavenly Father, right? It say right here in 17, for God had put in their hearts to fulfill his will, right? That's all men. So anyway, stay sober, stay vigilant. I pray this lesson finds you well. Until next time, Shalom. Wa Abba Babal.